Adam Collins, Mike Hussey, it's Cricbuzz Chatter, it's Boxing Day, it's loud, it's abrasive. That's what this ground is like, and it certainly was that way for England today. All out for 185, Australia 61 for 1 by the close. England were sent in, they were bullied, they made some terrible decisions, and Australia punched the bruise over and over again.
It was a tough day for England again. Good toss to win from Pat Cummins. You know, that pitch has got a lot of grass on it, and we knew there was going to be some movement there, overcast conditions, so it's never going to be easy for England. And when they lost 2 early wickets again, we thought, oh no, this could be trouble. The series could be over here in the first morning of the Test match. But Joe Root, Dawid Malan, they fought hard. But just before lunch, Dawid Malan gets out. And it was a bit of a sort of story of the day. Just before tea, Jos Buttler gets out. You know, every time they looked like they were going to get a partnership going and build something, they lost a wicket. And Australia were very good with the ball once again, finished the job and then got off to a nice positive start. They did lose David Warner at the end of the day, so they'll be disappointed about that. But all in all, it's been a very, very good day for Australia. 3
for Cummins all before lunch, 3 for Lyon on the first day here at Melbourne, a couple for Stark, 1 for Scott Boland on debut, and what a celebration of Scott Boland it was around the Melbourne cricket ground today. That England were just squeezed. I mentioned it already, but they never built a partnership more than 47, I think it was. Milan gets to lunch. And look, England, they didn't win the session, but they probably break even. But that third wicket, it seemed to break their spirit. Again, we talk about it almost every day. The weight of the world on Joe Root's shoulders. When he falls for 50, Stokes out for 25. It's just difficult to see where the match winners are beyond Joe Root.
You know, I thought Joe Root batted beautifully. Yeah. He really did. You know, he looked positive. He looked confident. He was timing the ball well. It was not an easy pitch to bat on. There was enough movement there. Pat Cummins was outstanding early on as well. So, you know, I feel for Joe Root. You know, he would have been so disappointed with the shot that he played to get out on. He did a lot of the hard work but couldn't go on with it. And unfortunately, that's been his problem here in Australian conditions. He's batted well but hasn't been able to convert those good starts into big hundreds. So, that's where England are falling down, I guess. They need more contributors. It can't be Joe Root and Dawid Malan every single time. They need other guys to stand up, and unfortunately that's been a problem for England for a period of time now.
How about Australia? They've used 6 fast bowlers in the series. It's actually more like what India did in Australia last year. Australia relied on the big 4, but they're rotating at this time, and Scott Boland looked right at home on the big stage on day 1.
I thought he bowled really well. You know, you can't underestimate how nervous he would have been, being a local Victorian guy, playing his first Test match here at his home ground at the MCG. There would have been a lot of butterflies. But he looked calm and he looked in control. He looked like someone who had a good handle on his own game. And, you know, it took him a while to pick up his first wicket, but once he got that wicket, you could just see how happy he was and just relaxed into the rest of the day. Took a couple of handy catches as well. The team looked like they really made him feel a part of it as well. So I think he'll be absolutely delighted with the way he started.
Yeah, a lot of special moments as well. The baggy green presentation from Josh Hazlewood, the welcome to country, a real impactful moment with Arnie Joy here before play. Everything went right for Scott Boland. Australia batting before the close. Anderson nicks off Warner, nice piece of bowling. But to me, it felt a bit like, I'm sorry to say this, 11 years ago when England bowled Australia out for 98 and they started batting and it looks like it was a flatty. Well, Australia, with the exception of the Warner wicket, were doing as they pleased before the close of play.
Yeah, well, I think Marcus Harris would have been really nervous having to come out to bat tonight. There's been a lot of talk about his position in the team, under a lot of pressure, but he looked good. Warner, well, he just does what Warner does. He scores so quickly. He seems to find the gaps all the time and got Australia off to that flying start. Automatically, that puts the pressure back on England and their bowlers. I'm sure England would have been talking before that innings to say, okay, come on, let's keep it tight. Let's pick up a couple of early wickets. We can do what Australia did to us. But Warner just comes out there and just takes the game away from you so quickly. So, you know, it's a good start for Australia. You know, 61 for just the loss of 1 wicket. Still some big guns to come. But England have to regroup. They have to regroup and regroup quickly. Come out with that positive mindset tomorrow, because this is where the series is. It's on tomorrow. The whole series is on tomorrow.
All right, into the hot spot we go. In the hot spot, England, we've talked already about their inability to gel as a batting group, and that was highlighted by Jos Buttler's dismissal, I'm afraid to say. We all love Jos Buttler and what he's been able to do at white ball level and occasionally for England with the whites on as well, but that dismissal looked like a tired man. It was an ugly shot.
Yeah, and it was the timing of the shot as well. The over before the tea break, you know, to come down the wicket. You could see what he was trying to do. He wanted to be positive and play his shots. That's when he plays his best cricket. But he was beaten in the flight. He wanted to hit it over mid-on. Because he didn't get to the pitch of the ball, he bottom hand drags it sort of square of the wicket, and it just looks ugly. And because of the way he gets out, but also the timing, it's like a dagger to the heart of any team. Yeah. You're always looking for positives and looking to hold on to hope. And when something like that happens, you just drop your head, and it's hard not to get into a negative frame of mind. So it was a bad dismissal at that time.
And I'm sure it's the same with Root, getting to 50 looking like a god and then getting out on that score. Another 50 not converted in Australia. The frustration builds, and that was evident from the way that he swung the bat when he got out. He was absolutely gutted. All right, Huss, let's press fast forward. Pressing fast forward, Huss, the script at Adelaide. Australia followed it almost perfectly. And today, after winning the toss and bowling, tomorrow they can go out there and that old adage, bat once, bat big.
Well, 100%, and that's what they'll be hoping. They'll be trying to set themselves to bat the whole day. And then if they can bat into the next day as well. And because they've got time in this test match now, because they've bowled England out quickly on the first day, they've got a long time to be able to bat and make as many runs as they can in that first innings and grind England into the dirt. England, they can have a say in that too, though, because I've loved this MCG cricket pitch. It's got lots of grass on it. There's plenty in it for the bowlers. There's pace, there's bounce. There's enough to keep everyone interested. But there's also runs to be had as well. As we saw Joe Root, if you apply yourself well and play good shots, you can score runs out there too.
Can England bounce back? It's a $64,000 question. They've got one more opportunity. It's got to be tomorrow. Follow it all live on Cricbuzz through the day. And it stumps me, Adam Collins, him, Mike Hussey, here on Cricbuzz Chatter. Bye-bye.